The Yankees, to me, are, we've sliced this a million ways.
Yeah.
And we've complained a million ways sideways. But can I just save everybody the sweat today? The Yankees are broken. I don't know how much more we need to watch to come to a different determination. There is not much that they do well. They are not fun. They are not young. They are not ascending. They are not exciting. And now they fire the hitting coach. Okay, but here's the thing. They fire the hitting
coach. Pound of flesh.
Pound of flesh. Yeah, give us that meat. Ooh. We feel good. Ooh. No, listen. When you fire the hitting coach and you then tell us that you're going outside the organization, which is an acknowledgement that you might need to start doing things a little differently philosophically. But then in the next sentence, you tell us, but you're not going to deviate from the organizational philosophies. What are you telling us, Cashman? I can't take it anymore with him.
They're telling
I'm done.
They're telling you, BT, to be patient. And it's one thing when we talk about the Mets, and we'll get to them in a second. But when you talk about the Yankees, to me, patience is key with this iteration of this team. And it's only because they've had so many injuries. I don't know if Judge is coming back, but maybe he will. And Carlos Rodon, he's back, and he looked pretty good despite giving up 3 runs. I mean, look, it's almost a quality start. If he'd have got 2/3 more of an inning, we'd be happy about it, even though they lost. And so when you look at where the Yankees are, and they just fell out of the wild card, so I can't even argue that anymore. But it's only a game. They're still 7 games over 500, and I think the best baseball is ahead of them. Volpe finally out of the leadoff spot again, back down, hits another home run. He's actually smashing the ball. You have a lot of faith that he's going to continue to develop. I think Giancarlo Stanton, in Judge's absence, has to step up and be the superstar that he's paid to be. And we know the splits when he plays right field. He's gotten out there a little bit more. They even talked about it on the broadcast. On Saturday, he goes yard twice, and he mashed the first one. The second one just barely snuck in Oppo and hit the pole. But I think that this team has runway to chill and be patient. I know there's an urgency because they lost and they're out of the wild card, but I think what Boone and Cashman are trying to do is preach patience. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm actually believing it because I know that this team isn't as bad as they've been playing.
There's zero accountability with this team, but it's driving me nuts. I mean, I can't stand it anymore. Gleyber Torres, what are we waiting for? Get rid of him. I mean, is there anybody else out there still? I'm going to ask again because we had this conversation a month ago. Is there anybody that still wants this guy playing second base for the Yankees? Please raise your hand.
Well, there was
or more specifically, call us. Gleyber Torres is. I was thinking about this on the right end because it's a tough way to frame it because he is a unique player. He is a little talented. I get all that, and he's still kind of young. I get it. He's the most non-winning, quote-unquote, good player I've ever seen in my life.
How do you mean?
Ever.
How do you mean non-winning?
He is very rarely in the middle of sustained good stuff, and he is too frequently in the middle of mind-numbingly dumb stuff.
So it's the error.
Oh, it's the base running. Oh, my God. Yeah, I heard Boomer. And by the way, Boomer's not wrong. I heard Boomer saying this morning, he takes accountability. Great. He does. He stands in front of his locker. Fantastic. Great. I should have caught the ball. Great. I should have got a hit. Great. I wasn't paying attention on the bases. Great. I don't know. How about you've been here for 5 or 6 years? You get your head out of your ass and start playing real baseball?
Well, let's not forget.
He takes accountability. Who cares?
Let's not forget. Maybe about a month and a half ago, he was one of the best players. He probably was the best player on this team. I remember us having this conversation about Gleyber Torres. And, yeah, he need some more, I don't know, attention to the little details all the time? Of course he does.
If you don't have it by now, you're not going to have it. You know that as a former athlete, T. Come on.
He's 26 years old. 27 years old, soon to be 27 years old. Maybe he just doesn't I can't even say maybe he doesn't understand the criticism he's going to get in New York because you're going to get it in New York unless you give it all the time. But with that being said, he's still a good player. Man, he's actively right now. He's the home run leader. As crazy as that sounds.
Get the statue ready.
As crazy as. But I'm just saying, you need him.
I don't need him anymore. I want him gone. I'm done.
I know you're frustrated by the little things.
But yes, I am frustrated. To be fair, but
dude, is he Aaron Hicks level for you?
No,
that's what it sounds like.
No. It's not that. But it's. Yes, I am frustrated, but you have to give me this, right? Because this is the last week we're doing the show, so this is together. This is the last time I could reference things that we discussed all these years. I have never wavered from my criticisms of Gleyber Torres.
True, you never saw him here long term.
No, it's always been, and then when you run through the laundry list, if Stanton does this, if this guy does that, they're not going to. Can we get it through our thick skulls? Ship them out. I'm dead serious. Get rid of all of them. I can't watch this crap anymore. I am so disgusted with Giancarlo Stanton. He looks like Zeus. He plays like ass. Except for the put that on a card, right? Except for the one. And again, that home run he hit. I mean, that ball was absolutely ludicrously far.
Yes.
But he doesn't do enough, often enough. Get rid of him. And I know they won't, but I got to vent today. Get rid of him. Gleyber Torres. Get out. Donaldson, you cut. I mean, please, nobody waste my time today telling me that everything's fine.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
This team stinks.
Okay, if you do all of that, then what? Then what? Where are you? Rebuilding?
Yes.
Without. I mean, like, what are you doing? This is not. It doesn't feel like the Mets, where you can throw in all these young players in bona fide positions, and they're ready for the major leagues, and they're not going to get broken. I feel like the Yankees have talent, even though some of it is aging. Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, but they have some actual opportunities because of where the American League is, because of the fact that they're going to get healthier and better as the season goes on. And so you can't blow it up.
I can.
You can't.
I can.
Not at this point. I mean,
they haven't won since 2009.
If they were sub 500, if they were like scuffling at every single...
They are scuffling. They're not the wild card with the third highest payroll in baseball.
Look,
what else constitutes scuffling if that doesn't?
Well, I mean...
They're scuffling,
the
buddy.
Mets. That constitutes scuffling. I feel like the Yankees going.
Oh, sure, sir.
First
We'll
of all,
get to him.
Oh God,
no, it's bad, buddy. It is bad.
The Yankees.
Is it football season yet?
Exactly. We gotta think because the
Yikes.
Giants got a week on Saquon.
I know. We're gonna get to that for sure.
So I think that the Yankees have a shot to get themselves right. I don't know about the Mets. The loss of the series this past weekend against San Diego really puts a damper on what they were doing for those 6 straight games. But the Yankees, to me, are still in control of their destiny going forward. And yes, it's going to take Giancarlo Stanton playing with the fire that he did when he was MVP type player. Now, he can't do it because he's too old, but he's got to at least try. He's got to try to be that guy that holds this team up while they wait for Aaron Judge to get healthy. You got to be right with Anthony Volpe, which they seemingly have been when they drop him down in the lineup and let him rake from down there where he has been. You got to get their pitching, back healthy. Nestor Cortez had a bullpen session that everybody said looked good. Rodon is back. Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole. Herman was fantastic until he got pulled with 1 out in the 7th inning and wanted to go into the break feeling good. What the hell does that mean? What's the damn game?
I have no idea.
But there are more answers on this Yankee team than there are questions. And I know it's frustrating.
There's more answers? Did you just say that?
There are more answers.
No way.
On this Yankee
more
team
answers.
Than there are questions. Bader has been good.
Oh,
IKF is a very good situational role player. Volpe is developing as you would want him to at this juncture in the season. I mean, as much as we get frustrated by Gleyber in the field, at the plate, he's actually pretty good.
Get rid of him.
I know what you're saying.
I give up.
I feel like you're reacting to the weekend as
I'm
opposed to
honestly
looking
not.
at the huger picture.
You know me well enough to know that that's not the case. I'm not reacting to the weekend. Listen, Brian Cashman is the guy that I have had on my radar since Brian Cashman. Oh God, has not earned the right. of my first show here at WFAN.
Yes, that's true.
All right. Now, it wasn't that long ago because it was only,
year and a half
ago, just about. But that was the first thing fundamentally that I thought was wrong with the Yankees. When you lose the same way, God, I'm so tired of talking about this. I really am. I am just disgusted talking about the same stuff all the time. It really is. I'll grant you this, Teak. There's an element of subjectivity here, right? We both watch the Yankees. We both watch the Mets. It doesn't mean that we're going to see the same thing, all right? But I couldn't fundamentally, and this is why you do a show. I guess you have different opinions. I couldn't fundamentally disagree with you more. There is nothing about this team that excites me except Volpe, except Bader to a lesser extent, and honestly, that's it.
Garrett Cole doesn't excite you?
Listen, I've got great, profound respect for Garrett.
Yes,
Of course.
He does.
Talk about position players.
Okay.
That's the biggest issue with their team.
I mean, I know Stanton is in a. And the reason I keep bringing him up, because
he's got to go away.
He can't.
I just want him to disappear.
He's got to be the guy.
Well, then they're not going to do anything this year.
And I'm not
if
saying
he's got to be the guy.
He doesn't have to be the guy for the entirety of the season. But this little bridge until we get an answer on Aaron Judge, and maybe that's to the trade deadline when they realize that Aaron's not going to play this year. They're going to go get surgery midseason and crush all of our dreams, and they have to go make a move potentially. It's got to be Giancarlo Stanton. It has to be. And I know that's hard to say, but it has to be because nobody else on this team can change the game of the swing except for Giancarlo Stanton. At least not consistently.
877-337-6666. Ugh. That's the word. Ugh. How many G's in there? We're going to go to about 7 G's and 8 H's. U-G-G-G-G-G-H-H-H-H-H! Exclamation point.
How many of those are big G's?
Well, I'll tell you, Stanton's supposed to be big G. He's been lowercase basically the last 3 years. All right, we're inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. They just feel broken. Sal's in Brooklyn. What's going on, Sal? How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, boys. Hey, BT, it's like the fuse was lit, and you have been consistent with this, no doubt about it. And it's going to be sad to see you guys split apart like an Abbott and Costello routine. But by the same token, hopefully it only brings good things to both you guys down in the future.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
And I've been listening for a while with you guys, following you all over the place. Hey, BT, with the Yankees, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And the only outlook we can have is, honestly, at this point, we can bring up a Trey Sweeney, who's a third baseman.
Bring him up.
Bring
him up.
That can hit the same $130, but at least give you a little athleticism. And he's a big righty glove, lefty bat. What they don't have. You could bring up Peraza. You could tell Gleiber, listen, or DJ, listen, sit down. We're Yankees fans. We're born at night, not last night. You can't keep bringing the same garbage out. And the rookies can give you that look. We're satisfied with Volpe's 213 stick as long as it's youth that we're seeing on this team and not the same garbage you're trying to bring in front of our eyes.
Sal, it feels like you're conceding the season. That's why you can't do those things. You can't go develop these young players in a Major League Baseball because they're going to go through 3 weeks, a month and a half of just lost, just complete whiffing, right? Volpe went through it. Volpe was the number one prospect in the Yankees season. You can't bring up one of these younger kids now and be like, all right, come save us. They're not equipped to do it. And so the only way you would do that is if you are tolling the season saying, let's get ready for 2024. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, but at the same token, going the way you're going now, you're playing 500 ball, and I can't stand everybody who says, well, they're still 8 games over 500.
Now 7 now.
Was there. You're not a 500 team. You're losing anyway. What do you have to lose?
Well, Sal, let me jump in on Sal. Yeah, let me say this one thing, and thanks for the call there, buddy. I know we'll talk before we wrap up this week.
Appreciate you, Sal.
I don't agree, Teak, that the insurgence of youth, which I'm calling for, Sal, we're all calling for, is punting on the season. It's not like the NBA where you tank and you're just going to go, you're going to win 17 times.
Who is it we talked to, the Portland coach,
Oh, what was that?
What was his name?
Stotts? Was it Stotts when we had him on
And
the old
we
show?
asked him about tanking.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
said
yeah.
tanking. And he said, we're not tanking. We're
Yeah.
just giving the young players time to play.
Yes.
And they're not good enough.
Yes.
It's awesome.
But I mean, with the Yankee pitching, both starting front end and bullpen, which is obviously good been very good for the most part. See, baseball's different. You can win several different ways. You can win with speed. You can win with run creation, run deletion, defensively. You don't have to win 7-5, and you probably won't if you call up Peraza and some other kids and you give them a little runway here. But you're not going to win this way. So I'll take my chances. Kids scoring from first on doubles. We're going to steal. We're going to drop down a few bunts. I know it's not 1980, but a couple of bunts here and there. Like, you can try to win differently because this is just brutal. It's old. It's done. Rob's in Connecticut. What's up, Robbie?
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
Hey, man.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Yankees hitting coach and how he got axed and why he got axed.
Okay.
I think a lot of people think, well, you see Stanton in a rut, LeMahieu in a rut, all these guys just hitting way below their averages. And oddly enough, I think that one of the big nails in the hitting coach's coffin was a guy who doesn't even play for the Yankees anymore, and that's Aaron Hicks. When Hicks moved to the Orioles, they looked at old tapes of his from like 2018, and they said, stand up, be more athletic at the plate. That's it. Not what you're doing with your hands or knees or anything. Just be an athlete. And he went from a 188 batter and 69 at-bats for the Yankees. He's at like 263 for the Orioles now. In 99 at-bats, he's got 6 home runs, which is pretty damn decent. And he plays in a great outfield. I mean, he was a great pickup for the Orioles. And it was a simple fix. And that's the thing I think matters is, the Yankee staff missed it.
No, they miss everything. I mean,
no, you're right, Rob. You're not wrong about that. And it's interesting observation when you think about how he has played. Now, it could be just a change of scenery. It could be lack of pressure in Baltimore, even though they are overachieving. I can't even say they're overachieving at this point. They're damn good.
Last year, I think they may have overachieved a bit. They're just a good young team.
This year, they're good, and they're about to catch the Rays. It's crazy because the Rays have faltered over the last week or so. But you're right to an extent. I think Aaron Hicks needed a change of scenery. I think the pressure of being in New York, it started to get to him. It was abundantly clear. But there is some truth to what you're talking about. Baseball for a guy like Aaron Hicks, who's been doing it for a long time, it should be simple. Like, the fixes should be easy. You're doing this little thing wrong that you used to do well. Don't do that thing wrong anymore, and it should come back. The Yankees couldn't identify it.
Well, he's not the only one that makes their whole situation just look like it's amateur hour. It's chicken parm hour. That's what fixed Volpe. Not a Yankee coach.
That's right.
I mean,
Austin Wells, right?
Yeah. What in the world are we talking about here? I mean,
and by the way, even if it's not like of true to the hilt story, right? Even if it's just a little bit embellished, that's the talking point.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
But
Aaron Hicks goes to the Orioles. He's hitting 280 and then has 6 home runs. Volpe goes and hangs out with his college buddy or whatever it is, his minor league buddy, and now he's hitting 420. Right? It's not. Well, Dylan Lawson was working really hard watching film, and that's not what we're hearing.
Dylan Lawson didn't tell him to get his front foot towards first base.
Right.
His former minor league teammate did.
Close down your stance, man. You were doing this when you were in the minors. So the narrative forced the firing, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then you just look at the results across the board. Not only is really no players getting better, they're all getting worse.
Volpe's getting better.
Well,
but it's Wells'
we
fault.
know why. 877-337-6666. I think the Yankees are organizationally, fundamentally broken. I mean, every single direction, every conceivable point of evaluation. There is nothing that makes – I'm sorry. I look at this team, and I just don't see anything remotely resembling a championship team at all. At all. The GM the manager, the star players, the leadership? Where's the ascending players? You tell me, tell us how they aren't broken, because I think that they are.